Hello everyone, welcome to mindovermania. My name is Christian and I am a professional spiritual consultant and tarot reader. Today's topic is, why do I feel bound to this person? Our card reading today is going to be exploring some of these deep inner connections. Maybe there's a spiritual contract, maybe there is some sort of a energy that needs to be released or a blockage, or maybe you're obsessed or attached to a person. We're going to get to the truth and bottom of your connection. I'd like you to first pause the video, have both feet planted on the ground, take a couple deep breaths, and picture in your mind this person that you feel bound to. In whichever pile you're drawn to, go ahead and check out in the description the link to that particular reading. This is not to be professional mental health advice. If you are finding yourself in a difficult situation, please make sure that you talk to a professional, whether it be a social worker, a mental health expert, or a therapist if you are going through a situation that is particularly distressing. Please take care of yourselves, guys, and I will see you at your reading. Take care. Bye. Hello, everyone. You have chosen pile number 1, the highlighter. Okay, and this is going to be your reading about, why do you feel bound to this person? What's causing this connection to be the way that it is, and why do you feel stuck in this connection? Maybe you feel stuck, or maybe there's just something about them that you can't get them off your mind, or maybe there is an instability going on. The one thing right off the bat with this group, I do feel like this connection is a little unsteady. Every time when I was trying to start the recording, the Sharpie kept rolling back and forth, and it's almost like this particular group has the hot and cold energy. Originally, I'd been planning on having incense burning through all these readings, but this group in particular, I feel like you need to make sure that you're clearing out your energy, your mental space, and taking time to go outside and breathe a little bit. The smoke's like getting in my face right now, and it's almost like you guys don't feel like you can say your truth in this connection. There's a lot of chaos maybe going on in your personal life, and so this person is just highlighting all the things that are kind of blocking you right now. I'm going to go ahead and pull the cards and get a little bit more information about what's going on here. Again, as I'm pulling these cards, please keep in mind that, this is a tarot reading, and it's a collective tarot reading, so take what resonates, and also make sure you're picturing this person in your head while you're receiving the message, because if this is not the right person or the right situation for you, feel free to check another card reading that either I've made or somebody else, because there's something about this pile that I'm feeling like sometimes when you're doing pick-a-card readings, you're not necessarily getting the most accurate information because your energy is already really, really crowded. Again, I don't know if maybe this group, you guys have an addiction of some kind, maybe you smoke, maybe this person smokes, but there's a lot of just tumultuous energy that I can't even get a firm placement of it. And I think that might be tied to why you're feeling so bound, is because maybe you're bound to an addiction or a separate energy that, this person just represents that to you. Okay, yep, okay. All right, right off the bat, we've got the 5 of Wands here, which is all about conflict and fighting. Okay, so there's something about your connection with this person that maybe you've gotten into fights with this person, or you're always, it always seems like a fight to keep this person in your life. Maybe there's an energy of they're always an internal conflict, so you try to show up and present loving solutions, and this person just fights you every step of the way. I don't really feel like it's necessarily your fault. Whatever's going on with this person has everything to do with their internal landscape and has nothing to do with what you can provide to this situation. So guys, if you're dating this person, I highly recommend taking a step back and reevaluating the pros and cons to this relationship, because I don't really feel like you are attached to this person in a healthy manner, especially if you guys are constantly arguing about the same thing over and over again. It's just wasting your time and energy, and there's something that you need to address about yourself that is keeping you bound to somebody. Why are you spending time and energy trying to fix a person who is committed to not changing themselves? All right? Because loving people means allowing them to exist in their own space. And there's something about you're not allowing this person to exist in their space, because that means you lose control over what you think they should be. Yep, there's something about well, they should behave like this. They should be acting like this. And it's like, yes, they should be. but they are not. So what part of your psyche is preventing you from seeing where they're at right now? Because if you are trying to change them and fix them constantly, there is something wrong with their connection, and there's something wrong with how you're approaching it. I am the dreamer of my dream. Okay, and so this is also tied into the chaos going on in this person is you are staying in a dream-like state with this person, okay? You are the dreamer, and that person's a fantasy of some kind. And so understanding that when you are creating a circumstance around a relationship, that is self-sabotage if it deviates from reality, right? And maybe you have this dream of like, oh, well, if this person just fixed A, B, and C, then maybe we'd be fine. But notice I said maybe, because there's no guarantee that if this person stops drinking so much, if this person stops fighting you every step of the way, that they are going to be this perfect standard for you. Okay? There is definitely a self-sabotaging element that is controlling your belief system of what your dreams actually should look like. Because technically, if you want to have a great relationship with someone, it should be easy, right? So what's telling you that what this reading is trying to tell you and is alluding to is there's something about your dreams that is interconnected with this person and how you self-sabotage. Let's get more cards. We've got photograph, looking at your photos, missing you, nostalgia, and making new memories. Okay, there's a lot of nostalgia going on here. Maybe you always wanted someone like this in the past. So maybe it's like, oh, that's my dream person. When I was like growing up and younger, I always wanted to date the hot guy. Or maybe there's something about the fact that you have history together and you had a lot of great memories tied with this person. You can have all those great memories with that person and move forward without them, okay? Because this nostalgia is keeping you trapped, all right? It's not the way things currently were, and maybe you have a pattern within your childhood or your family about staying stuck in the past and you know, looking fondly on memories from childhood, but then not acknowledging that there were other things that were going wrong at the time. Maybe that your parents weren't telling you, but there's a lot of like, you growing up were surviving through your own self-deception in order to cope with what you were not receiving around you, okay? There's something about you were not receiving something growing up in childhood, and so now that you're an adult, you're used to staying stuck in that pattern where you're like, well, as long as I make believe that they're gonna get better, then they are, but they're not, right? Because did your parents get better? Did those home life situations change? They probably didn't. You just got older and then moved out on your own. So with this conflict, you know, you also are going through an internal battle and a change in a process by being bound to this person. And so once you win your inner conflict and battle, that's when you're going to actually be able to see, is this relationship worth your time? And so for some of you, maybe you're watching this reading and you have no contact with this person, or maybe there's like a stuckness that you're saying to yourself, man, like I am so stuck on this person, even though I haven't spoken to them in a couple years. Or maybe like this is like your guilty pleasure person where, okay, I'm feeling really upset right now, so I'm fantasizing about me talking with this person. It's like, it doesn't even have to be romantic. It's almost like you just automatically resort to reaching out to this person's vibe and energy. And, you know, this is something that you should check on yourself, because instead of making this about the other person, you should be focusing on the anxiety that's deep rooted in this and this abandonment, and say, hey, okay, looking at what's going on in my life right now, something is stressing me out, which is causing me to reach out in my headspace to an imaginary person. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause. I'm going to ask my body, what needs are not getting met right now? And so maybe you're feeling exceptionally lonely right now. Maybe you're desiring a romantic partner and there's just no options. Or maybe you haven't eaten and taken care of yourself. I feel like for those of you that are like, oh, well, all I need is a romantic partner to fill this wound, you need to pause right now and understand that this highlighter, right? This here is highlighting exactly this insecurity that you have right now, that you're not good enough, that there's nobody who's going to like you, there's no one supporting you. And maybe that's a time to take the time to have a time out and say, if I don't have people in my life supporting me, that's a problem. Regardless if I have a romantic relationship, if I don't have friends that aren't checking in on me, if I don't have people to go hang out with on the weekends, if I don't have anybody that, like, you know, if there's an emergency that happens in my house, someone's going to help me, then that's a problem and you need to fix it. Okay? Every human adult is required to have at least a support system in order to be functionally as an adult. I don't care how independent you think you are. I don't care what happens, right? If you're out in your backyard and a tree falls on you and no one's coming to help you, that's an issue. And that's why you keep deflecting back to a romantic partner, because that's what our society has conditioned us. Like, well, this is the ultimate failsafe for taking care of me. When really our society's broken in the sense that it's not built up of communities. So in order to combat this, start looking for your community. And some of you guys are saying like, wait, well, how do I do this, Christian? Where are these people? I've been trying for years. I don't have any friends. Well, this is where you take the time out and ask yourself, let's come up with a plan. Have I talked to a therapist about this? Have I been doing the self-work and healing on myself so I'm not abandoning myself when people come around? Do I have boundaries? All right, you really need to get clear and clear this chaotic energy away from you so you can get really grounded and down to earth. So my initial reaction is go out into the woods, sit and meditate for a bit, making sure you're meditating every day. Okay, and I mean every day. Clearing your head out, learning to get in touch with your body. That's going to be super, super important. Next, you need to be going outside. If you guys are sitting on the internet too much, or if you are not including in-person interactions more, then this is how you're going to get more stuck in this inter chaos, because you need to get out of your headspace. That is what's causing this looping cycle. Maybe learn about limerence and see how, there's different nutritional deficiencies that can manifest limerence. I'm going to go ahead and get into the rest of the cards because I want to wrap this up soon. But I'm just letting you guys know that it's absolutely okay to understand that this state is normal. And having an unhealthy attachment style is more common than people think. However, you need to register this information in your brain and say, hey, there's something going on with how I'm perceiving things and doing things that is harmful to myself. And I need to be prioritizing my power in the dynamic so that way I'm not focused on other people, right? And again, some of you guys are like, man, I just feel so helpless while attached to this person. What's wrong with me? And you're blaming and beating yourself up. And it's like, the purpose is not to blame yourself and beat yourself up. It's understanding that we have a lot of societal conditioning that pushes us into unhealthy routes. We had unresolved things in childhood. And on top of it, if you don't have a community support system around you, of course you're not going to feel that great. Okay? And that's absolutely normal. And so shaming yourself only puts you further into this inner conflict with yourself, because you're like, well, I should have known. And it's like, well, we're only just now as a society coping with a lot of these issues. It's only just now coming out that you have the internet available to help work on yourself, okay? And you shouldn't be doing self-help work alone too. That's something that I'm very opposed to, trying to do everything yourself, because you can't self-heal yourself out of being a human. Everybody needs to have checks and balances, and that's why I highly encourage this group. Make sure you go talk to a therapist, talk to a counselor, talk to a paid professional, and not rely on tarot readings about this particular situation. Because as I said, I have a feeling if you guys really get deep down into the issues going on between you and your person and why you feel attached to them, you're going to get a very different story than what a tarot reader is going to tell you, unless that tarot reader has done the work. And that's why I'm saying, hey, be very careful for spiritual psychosis. Be very, very mindful of what you're consuming on the internet. And please be compassionate towards yourself as you go through healing this connection. Because as I'm saying, there is no hero or villain in this story. I just feel like a lot of where your struggle has been is how you're approaching your relationship with this person. As I said, if you struggle with addiction or codependency or whatever, it's an addiction, right? There's a lot of material out there to support you. So, you can also check out, the AA and different things too, because even if you don't have an addiction to a substance per se, you can still develop addiction type patterns. So, but talk to a mental health professional and make sure that you're getting answers from the right people, okay? We're going to wrap up with these final cards. With love comes acceptance. I will always accept you as you are. Yeah, please make sure that you're using that energy for yourself. All right, accept yourself as you are, and that will really accelerate your relationship with this person and your relationship with yourself. If I'm blinded by love, that's okay. I will let you lead the way. I won't turn astray. Okay, yeah, this card is all about trusting. Trusting the universe is sending signs and signals about this person to protect you from certain kind of energy frequencies. You will find love again. Okay? Like that, like this group, I feel like there's a lot of just rejection that you're healing from in your past, and understanding that, if you're like a little bit in a love blind state right now, just trust that the universe is looking out for you. They're trying to approach you and invite you in to really take a deeper look at yourself. Okay. And understand that's where the love is right now. That's where the love needs to be. You're even doing it yourself by attaching yourself to this person, because you're like, I wish this person was here. Why do you want that person to be here? Because I want love right now. Okay. Is there anybody around who can give that to me? Oh, they can't? Okay, so I'm going to do it for me, but at the same time also, I'm not going to self-love my way out of this. I'm going to go and take steps to heal myself so I can go and start inviting better friendships, partnerships, and people in my everyday life, so I'm not feeling alone all the time, okay? If you're a little blind right now, that's okay. All right. Like everybody has gone through this at some point, in their lives. And it's so predominant in our culture to encourage this kind of cycle. So don't feel bad. There's a lot of money making, that goes into tying into this stuff as well. So just keep your eyes and ears open and protect yourselves. And finally, what makes you so sure I don't love you? Don't lose faith, honey. Yeah. Some of you guys, like, you just want the reassurance that this person loves you. Okay. And, I feel like some of you guys get very, very cynical when a person's not showing up consistently, because you're like, well, clearly if they're fighting themselves, if they're fighting me, that they don't love me. And that's not necessarily even the case, right? And now I'm careful to say that this person does love you, but, again, depending on what's going on with your pile, you need to make sure that your energy's clear before you access this. And understand that people can love you and still hurt you. If someone's struggling with a mental health issue or an addiction, love has nothing to do with that. You know what I mean? And I think like taking the time to really separate yourself and ask yourself and say, hey, I can love this person, but I understand that this behavior and pattern that I have going on and this person potentially has is harmful for my well-being at this current moment in time. And so don't bring love into something that love has nothing to do with. Okay? I'm going to repeat that. Don't bring love into something that love has nothing to do with. Okay? But that's kind of the energy I'm getting for why you feel really bound. If you really enjoyed this reading, I appreciate the time and energy you took to watch this. Thank you so much. Please like and subscribe for more content, and also to support my YouTube channel. If you would like a personal reading with me, please book me via my website, and check out my link tree. All the links to get into contact with me are going to be in the description. I do live streams both on TikTok and YouTube at this current moment in time. So please go ahead and check those out. And yeah, just one little thing I always ask people as well, make sure you send someone a little extra love, okay? Because especially this person that you're feeling bound to, they can very easily receive energetic love from you. You don't have to reach out. You don't have to say anything. I just recommend sending them some loving, grounding energy, because this energy just needs to kind of like be brought down a notch to a more clear-headed level. And I just feel like your person's going through some things, and that is absolutely not your fault or your responsibility. So, yeah, just send a little extra love today to this person and all the people around you. You guys are great, and I will see you around next time. Take care. Bye. Hello, everybody. You have chosen group number 2 with the red Sharpie. Okay, today we are going to be looking at, why do I feel bound to this person? What is kind of going on with this attachment that I have with this person? Okay, and I'm going to ask you guys that throughout the reading and the message, please make sure that you're picturing this person in your head, so that way you can kind of know what take what resonates. Obviously not all messages are going to be for you in your particular situation, because this is a collective message. So if you're interested in your specific situation, please check out the links in my description to book a personal reading. I do feel just a little bit of a trigger warning ahead of time. This particular reading I feel is going to be kind of a darker topic. So if you guys are kind of needing to like take some space from hearing the message, please feel free to pause the message and come back. There's something that is kind of going on with pile number 2 where I'm I had to really ground my energy before accessing this level of energy because I'm definitely feeling there's some heavy trauma energies that is causing you to be stuck in this cycle with either this person or this topic. So, as I said, this group definitely, I really hope you guys are talking to a professional therapist. And as always, tarot reading is entertainment purposes only. This is not meant to be professional mental health advice. However, I do recommend making sure that you're talking to the appropriate professional while engaging with this type of energy, okay? Because I definitely feel like there's a lot of misunderstandings, I feel, whenever you guys are going to tarot readings about what is the purpose of tarot and what you are actually seeking to gain and the knowledge that comes out of these readings. I'm not really sure what the intention was with this particular pile coming in to get a reading. Maybe because you just like listening to me and supporting me, which I absolutely love. But also, with this bound energy, I use that word specifically for this pile and for this particular group because I didn't want to label it as a psychic connection. And for my vantage point as a reader while seeing this energy, there is a lot of trauma energy that is intersecting with the spiritual side of things. And so that's why, you can take the term trauma bond, you can take the term, I don't know. There's like a legal thing going on. I don't know, but I just say, just be very careful when you're consuming spiritual content because I feel like this group is very easily manipulated or distorted into romanticizing traumatic situations and have belief systems that were kind of intentionally placed upon you by abusive people or by people that are very, very traumatized. So again, with the intentions of this reading not to necessarily play someone as a hero, a villain, a victim blame, or anything like that. That's not the intended of this reading. This is just to bring awareness to what's going on in y'all's situation and to kind of hopefully guide you to a path of solution in terms of your connection with this person. All right, let's go ahead and get the cards. There's something about you need to see clarity and you need to seek professional guidance, specifically when it comes to this person that's on your mind. I feel like, there's definitely some mental health issues going on in this dynamic with this person. Albeit it could be you, it could be this person, but this person I definitely feel takes advantage of you a lot in ways that I think you're very susceptible to. Now, I can already feel like kind of the panic energy of being like, oh my gosh, this person's hurting me. This is blah, 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 blah. And it's like, well, here's the thing, guys. Emotional neglect, especially intentional manipulation, that is a sign of abuse. Okay. That is a sign of abusive behavior. And so, like I had said at the beginning of this reading, there is going to be a little bit of some triggering messages going on here because you guys are not listening to either the tarot reader that's telling you this is not your person, or maybe you guys are gaslighting or were gaslit into believing certain types of, behaviors were normal and appropriate. And that's why, like right now, I'm trying to walk a very delicate line between my role as a professional reader and spiritual person as opposed to a mental health professional. Okay. Okay, so we've got the Seven of Cups, and we've got the Tower in reverse, all right? I feel like you guys are really, really trapped in a situation where you're resisting your trauma. You are very much resistant to the Tower falling down, because I would say the Tower would be upright. However, you guys are at such a mental state where you can't handle the Tower falling down right now because there's so much on your plate. Maybe you are overworked in your job. Maybe you are in a romantic partnership that's very not healthy for you, but you need to stay or you don't want to let go. And you're very ashamed of it, And like I said, I don't want to victim blame anybody here because this is a bit above my pay grade as a tarot reader. And so that's why looking objectively at your situation to say, hey, I feel like prioritizing yourself is very important and making sure you're having the right conversations within yourself and your traumatized selves to say, hey, what is best for me in this current moment? How do I approach it? With this Seven of Cups here, the energy is definitely all about you having options, and you're looking for the gold, right? You're looking for this whole thing. So maybe, again, maybe you're in a partnership or you're looking at certain individuals that you perceive have a lot of money and financial stability, right? Well, I want you to understand that this particular situation, this person is not a financial viable person, because the sacrifices you're making to remain in a connection with this person are detrimental to your well-being, okay? And again, this may be triggering to you, but there's something about a belief system when it comes to wealth. Maybe you don't know how to protect, or you don't have boundaries. Maybe there's something about you have some internalized, like, misogynistic views where you view one partner playing a certain kind of role and should have financial dominance over the other person. And that, like, I almost see this group a lot being like, well, it's my fault about this. It's my fault about this. When this other person is absolutely in the wrong with the way that their behavior is. This other person has abusive tendencies, and because you're not labeling it for what it actually is, because financial abuse is a condition, it's a thing. Even if it's just not that way, you know, it's almost like, well, he's not beating me, so it doesn't matter. I feel anybody that takes away your autonomy, your personal power, makes you believe that you can't support yourself, those are all red flags that you need to be, you know, taking issue with, because it's really not okay and appropriate for one grown adult to completely be dismantling another person's self-worth and value and reducing them just because they happen to be a breadwinner or they happen to have more social standing or financial success. As I said, there's something about this that you just keep perceiving that they're powerful when it's an illusion based off of either, all right, I'm going to say, like, either patriarchy, based off of social media, or maybe you're listening to like financial gurus and whatnot. And it's like, listen, okay, I don't care how much money he has in his bank. If he is doing things to women or men, if he's manipulating people, if he's stringing you along, if he's going no contact and then he's, you know, switching sides on issues, like, he's not doing this because he's insecure. He's not doing this because he's wishy-washy. This is intentional manipulation, okay? And you are feeling bound to this energy because it feels familiar, okay? And because you feel trapped, okay? And that's where the therapist comes in and helping you work through those deeper issues. We've got love me dearest, love me true, let my heart always make its home in you. Yeah, you are trying to make a home in a person that there is no room for you, because love is not the purpose of this dynamic, okay? This person is about power, control. You are bound to them as a result of you feeling lack of control in your own space, okay? Maybe it was your home life growing up. Maybe when this person's not around, what is your home life like, okay? Where is home for you? Is home inside of you? Because some of you guys, you're literally filling a void within yourself because you're like, I don't feel comfortable being inside and within and my heart space. So I'm going to externalize it to this other person because this person clearly has a path for me. That path has nothing to do with you being empowered, being happy, whatever. They're just like, okay, let me just put on this illusion. Yeah. She's going to talk. She's going to complain about this behavior. I don't care. Like, the thing that I feel a lot of you guys are really not resonating and understanding is this person does not care. Like, they are not planning on changing. You're going to sit and talk. There are no consequences to this person when they hurt you. That's why they're going to continue to do it. That's why, if all you care about is money, if all you care about is success, then yeah, of course you're going to be with someone who's going to be like, yeah, sure, here, let me give you the illusion that you have control over me, and then I'm actually secretly in charge going to the bank. Because the moment they find the younger person than you, the moment that they find the new shiny toy or something that fits their financial motives, you're dead in the water. They're going to leave you behind. They don't care, okay? And I think a lot of you guys, you're grieving this younger version of yourself because I feel like somebody did this to you before. All right. Why do we do this? Why don't you love me forever? All right. We're doing this because you are not seeing this person for who they truly are. Okay. You are bound to them through an alternative method that has nothing to do with love. It has everything to do with trauma, wounds, and it's also a spiritual lack as well. I feel like this person, like you may be very spiritual because you're susceptible to things. Okay. And so true spirituality, liberates people. Spirituality does not confuse you. There is not a truly spiritual person that's going to come out of the woodworks and save you. They're also not going to come in and try to sell you products or gimmicks that they believe isn't going to support you. Okay. And now obviously if they actually do, great. But like, here's the thing, like no amount of purchasing crystals or candles or whatever is going to unblock this energy because you're not focusing on the problem, which is what's going on in your heart space. Okay. And you really need to be specific and careful about what energies you are welcoming in, because if you only care about your financial viability and everything else goes to hell, then you're going to lose out on so much experience in life, and you're going to keep repeating this same pattern with new people. And, I just feel spiritually, you're just getting pushed in a completely different direction, but you have to overcome this burden first. It's almost like there's like an evil or an evil cloud that you need to be released from. And that is from your own doing of not standing up for yourself and having boundaries. Okay. Now, as I said, this isn't meant to victim blame. It's meant to say, hey, I have an issue. I need to go talk to someone so I can get the skills to get out. I need to make an arrangement, an agreement with myself and God and whoever I follow that I don't want to put up with this anymore. Okay? You need to be very clear about, I don't want to stay here. I don't want to be this way. Money can only fill me and sustain me for so long. And if it's at the detriment of my family, my friends, experiencing actual love and joy and healing, then I'm not going to take it. How can your light defy my darkness? Your love shows me the way back. Yeah, you guys are trying to literally say, my light is going to shine through and he's going to eventually see me. She's going to eventually know the truth. She's going to blah, blah, blah. No. Someone else's ability to see God, spirituality, light, goodness in the world has everything to do with their relationship with God, has nothing to do with you. You're playing the victim to this person's abusive behavior. Okay? Do not try to change, fix, or control another person. You cannot change their abusive nature on your own. They have to be willing to do that. And here's the thing, you are not a sacrificial lamb. No amount of you self-sacrificing, self-sabotaging, he is never going to wake up and change. She is never going to wake up and change until you change. Okay? Someone's got to tell you this stuff, because there's something about, you block out the people in your life that are saying, this is bad for you. You want to know why? Because it hurts. It hurts to look at yourself. It hurts to look at who you became to fit into someone else's mold. It hurts to change. It hurts to admit that this was so traumatizing for me that I don't know how to get out. And I'm alone in this. But you're not alone in this. You have so many people out here that you may not have even met yet that want you to have a better life, to see yourself for who you are and what you deserve, because you deserve better. Oh, love, please listen. I can't bear to see you cry anymore. Yeah, this is your spirit guides. Okay? Your spirit guides are listening to you cry. They're hearing you. They're mourning and grieving you because they want to be able to protect you, but you have to listen to them. Listen to your intuition. If your intuition is telling you this is not safe for me, then go. Go away. Get out of there. You don't walk into like the murder shack in the forest in the horror movie, right? But you're doing that because there's some romanticized unhealthy truth that someone else put in you. All right. I really want you guys to understand that, you can sit there and beat yourself up about this, but like people intentionally push these things so they can get away with it. It's not because society likes it or agrees with it. Okay. It's because there's unhealthy people out there that like control. They gain control. And then what happens, right? Eventually the consequences of their actions come in and remove everything. But do you want to be that person? Do you want to be the next victim to the next mass murderer person? I'm not saying you're going to get mass murdered, but you know what I'm saying? Like using that analogy of the guy in the woods, you know what I mean? Like, why do you believe you're an exception? Ask yourself, is it because your parents didn't show you the love that they needed? So you had to create this false scenario of yourself being Superman? I'm going to go in and love's going to heal everything? Love heals everything, but we're not meant to do the work that is meant for spirit, okay? We are not meant to do the work that's meant for spirit. Save your love for the homeless. Save your love for your friends, your family, your future partner, your children. Those are the people that deserve your time and frequency. There are so many people out there that need exactly what you have. This person that you are bound to has nothing to do with that. Okay? They have nothing to do with that. That is why you are bound. Is at some point Spirit's going to show you the lesson to say, we're going to make it worse until you understand what you mean to them. Okay? There's no getting out of this until you make a decision. Okay? There's no getting out of this until you make a decision on if you're going to leave this cycle or not. And again, you're going to slip, you're going to fall down. It happens to all of us. Keep trying. Keep praying. Keep asking. The moment I realign with love, clear direction is presented to me. Yeah. Focus on what love actually means. Love does not allow abuse. Love does not allow for traumatic circumstances. They don't abandon you. They show you what love looks like. You're just using love as a lens, okay? Because something's broken, okay? And you can't go to broken people to fix your own brokenness, okay? Even if you relate to them. I don't care if you relate to them. Everybody's got their own thing. But here's the thing, is you are seeing a reflection of yourself because you don't want to acknowledge the power that you have to change. When I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. Focus on that inner light, guys. You have life inside of you that is precious and worthy of protection. I'm unapologetic about what I desire and trust that I will on what I focus on will grow. All right? No longer apologize for being treated a certain kind of way. Okay? Their choices and actions towards you have nothing to do with you. Okay? Their choices and actions towards yourself and other people have nothing to do with you. So be unapologetic about loving yourself, loving your spouse, loving whoever, because love is not the problem here. Light is not the problem here. Your frequency triggers other people, and it makes it easy for them to lash out and do whatever. But that has nothing to do with you, and you are responsible for protecting that light and protecting the light in this world. As I said, there are so many people out there that deserve your time and energy, and this person is not it. Okay. Thank you so much for coming to this reading. I appreciate you taking the time to listen. This was a pretty heavy topic, and so, yeah, I apologize if I triggered somebody. However, there is messages that really needed to be said. And as I said, I am not a mental health professional, so if you need counseling, don't be coming to me asking for a reading about this stuff, because I will not take on certain types of things from the standpoint that that's not my job. Highly recommend go find a therapist, talk to a social worker, especially if you are in an unsafe situation. Please make sure you talk to the right authorities. It's okay to get whatever professional help you need to get out. The intention of my messages was to just make you understand the urgency of what's actually going on here, because this isn't just oh, yeah, let me just get a reading and then forget about it. No. All right, that's not the frequency I bring in here. I don't want to see you guys continue on to this pathway and this cycle. And I'm, praying for you guys to have the courage and strength to get out, because it's going to come down to you and your choices. Okay? Sending you a lot of love. If you're interested, please, interested in more content, please like and subscribe. I have other tarot readings as well, and you can catch me on my live streams. But yeah, I was going to say, I'll do a tarot reading for you guys, but just understand that I do not go into the in-depth details of trauma, and I am not a trauma therapist. That is not what I'm qualified to talk about. So don't come to me asking about healing this sort of work, okay? But, do your meditations, do your yoga, do all that cool stuff, and that's about all I can offer you. Anyways, I will see you guys around and talk to you next time. Take care. Hello, everybody. You have chosen group number 3, which is being represented by the blue pen. And today we're going to be talking about, why do I feel bound to this person? Okay, and by bound, I mean maybe it's energetically, maybe your thoughts are looping a lot about this person, or maybe you just have this really strong intuitive gut feeling towards this person. We're going to take a look at that with the cards, and yeah. So the word that's kind of like popping into my head right off the bat is trauma. So maybe you guys went through something traumatic in the past where maybe you couldn't let go of a situation. It was very, very difficult for you. Maybe you're still processing something that happened to you. However, this particular person, I don't really feel is the issue causing this trauma from the past. So it's almost like, okay, maybe you went through maybe an abusive situation, a unhealthy situation, or maybe just something really just kind of traumatized you, maybe like a death of somebody, and you just kind of have been coping in a certain kind of way and pattern and style for a while. So this person, you're kind of like, I don't want to say you're projecting onto them, but there's like something about like visualizing them just to kind of keep you going. I'm sending you guys a lot of love with whatever's going on in your situation, because like I said, I worded this reading particularly with the word bound because of the standpoint that that could mean a multitude of different things. I have a feeling that this group in particular is probably already pretty knowledgeable about soul contracts, spirituality, and things like of that nature. So you're not going to encounter the same things that the other previous piles were doing. I do feel like this group is very, very spiritually gifted. They're very, very bright in general. You guys seem to have a good head on your shoulders. So I'm not too concerned about this particular relationship with this person being negative in any kind of way. I mean, there might be some conflicts and disagreements of some kind, but there's something about like placement that might matter too. I don't know if like astrology is important with like house placements, or maybe housing is a certain thing, but there's almost like an association with this person and a place or a state of being. It's almost like maybe like, you've got this ideal image of what happiness looks like to you. And so this person reminds you of what it means to be in that state or that place. So I'm going to go ahead and pull some cards and see what comes out. It's kind of funny. While I'm pulling these cards, I just feel like you guys are like kind of sitting there quietly waiting. Like it's almost like, I don't know if you guys ask about this person a lot, or you're just kind of sitting there like, I literally see you guys like almost like children at the best part of the movie and being like, oh my gosh, okay, Christian's about to drop something. There's something going on here. And I'm literally like, y'all gotta relax. Like seriously, like this person's not, I don't want to say this person's not going anywhere, but there's definitely like this energy of like, when's the ball gonna drop? When's the bad thing gonna happen? And your spirit guide team's just like, we put this I don't want to say spellbound, but we put this kind of binding on this situationship for a reason. So maybe you guys really aren't in the healthiest connections with this person. I feel like maybe this is a hookup, or maybe someone you had an experience with of some kind that you can't really shake. You're kind of, maybe you were asking this kind of question yourself, where I'm like, oh well, I'm bound to this person, and it's like, well, it's because you're kind of kinky and you're really obsessive. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, but it's like that's because that's your obsessive nature. Maybe y'all are Scorpios and you're just like, listen, this is just how we roll. Okay, we bound for life. We're bonded for life. Yeah, it's almost like bond isn't a more appropriate word for what's going on with this connection than the other groups, because bound is kind of like, I don't know, like there's kind of like this energy of there's no return or there's no releasing, versus I'm like, this is very consensual. Right? This is very consensual and kinky people that are just like, maybe you got some issues and you're still trying to resolve them, but I don't really feel like this particular group is like harming themselves as a result of this connection. We've got trust. Okay, so like your spirit guide teams are just like, oh my god, trust that this is gonna, there's a reason that this pattern of behavior is gonna unleash something in you. So it's almost like maybe like you thinking about this person a lot. Maybe you're obsessing a little bit. Maybe there's like some kind of a control issue that you have in a pattern. So it's almost like whenever you are struggling to stay silent about something, which that might be particularly it, you're sitting there going like, oh my gosh, it's a no contact situation. I just need to just say the thing. And literally spirit's like, there's a reason why you're attracted to this person. Your words are manifestations of your past self. So now that you're stepping into this and you're actually witnessing what's coming about, what are you going to do with those frequencies? You know what I mean? You were led to this person for a reason. And you need to trust that there's something going on. It's almost like with these two moths, okay, we've got the crystal in between, and it's almost seeing like maybe there's a lot of telepathy going on between you and this person. There's at least like something mutual going on between you and the other person. Maybe not necessarily in the 3D, but on the 5D, absolutely. We've got get curious, okay? And so I feel like there's something about your connection with this person that it's kind of become a chore, or like it's like laundry and you need to do laundry, so you're kind of routinely asking about this person because you're like, okay, I had a dream about this person, what does it mean? And like there's something about you're losing sight of what's important with this connection, because it's literally about you getting curious about life again, getting curious about yourself, getting curious about this other person. It's like there's something about this other person that there's a mysteriousness to it. There's a level of getting like either respect for yourself, or you're gaining boundaries, or like there's something that you're gaining and moving towards that you need to start like asking more questions. And like, again, it's almost like the phrase get curious. It's kind of like, it's like an invitation. It's friendly. It's you, like, again, we've got this dove here and the bird trying to like fly and whatnot. As you are learning to explore yourself, this is the safe avenue to do so. Especially if you're in a no contact situation, because there's something about like, for those of you that are in a no contact situation, you're not letting go of the fact that, well, yeah, it's a no contact situation, but I'm still bound to them. You know what I mean? I'm still bonded to them in some kind of a way. And like I said, because of the bond, I'm like, my eyes are going to the two little rabbits. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, you're not like doing this stuff and acting this way, and this person's not doing this stuff and acting this way out of malice. There's not really hate here. I mean, there's anger and resentment building for some of you guys, and other of you not, but it's literally kind of like it's an invitation for life to say, hey, you can explore these spiritual situations safely with a person that you don't have to go out and destroy your life over. Or maybe there's like something about them that really causes you to question yourself, and you go, oh, I didn't realize I wasn't looking at things that way. And then you feel bad because you're like, man, I just feel so trapped. And like, that's just really negative thinking in terms of relationship with this person, you know, because I don't think this person's out here trying to hurt you. I think you're more just hurting yourself as a result of this relationship, or maybe you're a masochist. Yeah, we got Six of Cups. You know, Six of Cups, that's all about nostalgia energy. You know, this person brings out your inner child. This is like, they're just saying like, acknowledge, you know, stop and smell the roses a little bit. Geez, like you guys are so rushing to get marriage and to accomplish things and do all this other stuff when it's like, why can't you just accept the message that there's a person in your life out there that you're spiritually connected to that loves you unconditionally and is your partner through life. And that's all it is. A spiritual partner throughout your life. Doesn't matter who gets married to who, doesn't matter who's got a baby with who, doesn't matter what, you are connected with this person. And I was about to say, like, deal with it, but it's like, you guys are like, not like, you're not dealing with it. You know, you're not accepting of the fact that life doesn't work out like the fairy tales. Like, you're not supposed, like, you're not obligated to someone else's story and whatnot. But that's what makes it so beautiful. Is that, like, can you imagine loving somebody so much that you're watching them start a family with someone else because they can't face their past and whatever, and you're sitting there being like, but I love you so much, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, if you love them, then let them live their story, you know? And it's like, let them live their dream. You don't know what that dream is, and you're part of it, but, like, that unconditional love is what we're trying to practice here. And there's such a detachment from unconditional love in this group that, like, that's why it feels like it's bound. Maybe you need to set some boundaries. Maybe this relationship kind of caused you to be like, wait a second, I've been sitting here waiting for this person for years. And there's things about myself that I didn't acknowledge that person was trying to teach me the whole dang time. But I didn't want to. I didn't want to acknowledge it. You know, this person is too close of a reflection of myself, but, like, you guys, like, over-intellectualize it to a point where it's no longer beneficial to stay in this energy. So just get curious and say, I don't have all the answers. Guys, it's spirituality. No matter how many lessons you learn, no matter how many books you read and ascensions and ayahuasca ceremonies you have, you're still a person. And there's always something to learn, right? You're allowed to learn things. I don't care how old you are. You could be in your 80s. You could be 10 years old. I don't know who's watching this, but, like, there is always something to learn. You just got to have a bit better boundaries within yourself to say, hey, like, I don't have to wait forever for this person. I don't have to dump all of my time and energy and resources into a romantic relationship. Who says that romance is the only thing that I require in order to feel fulfilled? You don't need to be this person's bodyguard. You don't need to be this person's princess, knight in shining armor. Just let this exist. Okay, as it is. We've got the Ace of Wands. We've got, this should be upright, yeah, we've got the Knight of Pentacles. So I do feel this person is slowly moving towards union with you. Again, if this person's currently in your life, I really don't think so. But for those of you that they are, I feel like you're not going to get much spiritual clarity towards this person. I don't really feel like they're moving towards you, as opposed to, it's kind of like you're both on separate boats and you're just drifting closer towards shore, and you happen to be running parallel, right? And so I think a lot of you guys are focused on the goal, you're focused on money, you're focused on the wedding, you're focused on the children, the blah, 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 and it's literally like, slow down. Okay, you guys don't even have the tools you're like, the tools and things you need in order to accomplish these things are nowhere near within your grasp. And this person's helping you realize that. Because maybe this person doesn't have their ish together, and it's easier to criticize them, but then the moment you take a step back and love yourself and you look around and go, oh my gosh, all the things I was criticizing this person about, I wasn't helping myself with. Okay, I need to go back and be on my ship, all right? I need to be on my own team. I need to be my own best friend. This person wasn't criticizing you because they hate you. They weren't hurting you because they didn't love you, all right? And you got to be very tricky with that, but this pile's different. And when I'm saying hurting, I'm not saying, like, you know, okay, if they said that really mean thing to you, I mean, that's not okay, right? But what did it teach you? Okay? Love does not allow abuse, and maybe that's what it taught you. Because maybe this person was bound to somebody else, like, you know, and here's another thing too. If you want to maybe see what this person went through, go check out one of the first 2 readings in this group. Listen to what I had to say, and then reflect on this person, okay? Like, for those of you that are very psychically in tune, if you want to really see the energies of what your person's going through and why they're not coming towards you, go check out pile number 2. Okay? Like, give this person a break because they are really, really not okay. For some of you. Others of you, they're just kind of coasting. Take what resonates, but like, geez, guys, like, it's okay. Relax. You know, this is meant to help you, not hurt you. We've got outer experiences, a reflection of my inner condition, and ouch, God. Man, I just gotta say, y'all, with these readings, like, I mean, I've been on serious mode for the first 2 readings of this pick a card, and sometimes when your cards just sass you in the right ways, I mean, like, am I right or am I right? I can't say it better myself. And specifically, you know, that's just all it is. Your outer experiences are a reflection of my internal condition. And some of you guys that over-intellectualize, you are not allowing your intuition to just show you to stop thinking and start trusting. Okay? And it is a trauma response to be overthinking this stuff. Okay? Okay, you got to dream about that person, whoop-de-doo. Think about it. Don't dwell on it, but just think about it. Settle it in your heart space. And be like, okay, I'm taken care of right now. And there's something about I need this person to show me something about myself that nobody else did. And again, I'm not saying these words to gaslight you and to enable toxic behaviors, but what I am saying is you're not going to get out of this relationship until you face something deep within your soul and your psyche, and it's going to transform how you go about life. Okay? That's why you need them. I'm not saying you need a relationship. That's not why these bad things happened. I'm not saying you technically need them, because obviously you're strong and independent. But sometimes, if you ain't facing the stuff that you need to, sometimes this is part of life. Sometimes that person that comes in and changes your whole life around was that gift that you couldn't have ever asked for because you didn't know it was coming. Okay? And release the need to control what that looks like. Okay? Like, stop with the fairy tales. Stop with the whole, I want this romantic blah, blah. No. No. This connection's spirit. This isn't about your fantasy. This isn't about what you wrote on your manifestation wish list and your witchy manifestation. No. This is the thing that God put in your life to say, you need to learn this. You are bound to this person intentionally to give you the gifts, and the price of freedom means the cost of this relationship. The cost of learning how to live with yourself, how to fulfill things, how to do the things that you need to accomplish in this lifetime. Okay? And everyone's going to look differently, okay? But some of you guys really need to drop the judgment. You really are so harsh on this person's frequency when you have no idea what their experience is like. So set your ego down, your spiritual ego, and trust. Okay? Set the ego down and trust, because some of you guys, you're really in your ego headspace about this, and you're gonna get a little backhand soon if you don't stop just, whatever. Don't stop. You know what I mean? Don't stop yourself. Don't stop your life for this person. But you're going to need to stop being so self-critical and judgmental about this person. All right, wrapping the reading up, we've got, say the words I love you and I'll come running. Yeah, this is you guys' energy. You're like, if she just tells me that she loves me, if I just hear those words, oh my God, it's been you the whole time, everything's going to change. No, it's not. Okay, I'm just going to tell you right now, this person, go check out pile number 2. They're in that energy right now for some of you. And then, after this reading, go check out some of my other pick a card readings, because I feel like this guy or this girl or whoever this person is, you're going to need a couple readings to really get some clarity, or just, obviously work with your spirit guides. But like specifically you guys, this journey's not over. There's lots of information in store. And for some of you guys, this is a lifetime partner. Okay. But lifetime partner does not mean and makes you entitled to a relationship with them that is going to follow exactly the boxes that you're checking. Okay? Nobody's entitled to life that way. I'm sorry. It's an ideal, but we don't have control over that. You know? Remember, we really don't have control as much as you believe and think. And that's where this ego thing is coming in. You know, that's what this person is triggering in you, is that no matter how much you love them, the thing isn't happening. But the love never left. Now, maybe it's energetic, but you need to trust that you're going to get what you need out of this dynamic, okay? It's not meant to make you suffer, okay? And you just need to release all of the suffering you've been doing up until this point, because this is where your focus and attention needs to be on. Because this person's highlighting all the insecurities in you. I want to see you fly. I'll support you as you soar. Okay? That is exactly what this spiritual connection is about, is it's supportive. And some of you are like, it's not supportive. He doesn't talk to me. She doesn't do what it is that I tell her to do. She self-sabotages. She runs away. She does blah, 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 blah. Why? What do you mean they're supporting me? It's the energy, guys. It's the energy. It's that feeling of understanding that there's someone out there that loves you unconditionally and knows what you're experiencing, even if you don't know it yourself. And that's what I think this group definitely has the hardest time, is you guys are struggling coping with the fact that you don't know yourselves that well. You think you do. You can intellectualize it. This person walks in a room, I don't care what mental state they're at, they know who you are at a much deeper level than everybody else. They just happen to be in their shadow. Maybe they're in a different time dimension doing their own wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey stuff, Doctor Who it. But what I need you guys to understand is it's not about you. It's about we. We are on a journey, and this group is intended to be pulled out of their own paradigm. Even if you think you're the best person in the world, there's always room to grow. And this person is intentionally pulling you out of your paradigm so you can look at that and experience it differently, so you can help others. I won't hold back loving you, babe. Yeah, some of you guys, you need to hold back. And when I say hold back on loving you, I'm not saying you stop the flow of love. What I'm saying is you got to hold yourself back a little bit and have some boundaries to say, hey, if so-and-so over there is doing a behavior that I don't like, I'm going to change. Like, unconditional love, especially in the human sense, like, we are human beings on the 3D Earth. The rules are different here than the unconditional realms. Okay? And so that's where you guys are really struggling, is you are emotionally stunting yourselves, and you need to grow up a little bit in understanding that this is not a fairy tale. That's not how unconditional love works in the human space. It's okay to admit that. Like, okay, you find out your partner is like kicking babies. Okay? Like in what universe is kicking a child and then saying, "Oh, I'm going to unconditionally love you anyway"? Listen to yourself. Take a step back. Everybody's got limits. Everybody's got boundaries. And this person, I think, is also showing you what happens to the limits of that. Right? And now I'm not saying you forgive them for everything, but like the difference is loving a person versus their actions. That's where it gets tricky. That's where you guys are getting hung up. So anyways, though, I'm going to wrap up the reading because I could talk about this frequency forever. And you'll probably see me talk about it in other readings because I already am like, I got an idea for what the next reading is going to be about. So anyways, though, thank you so much for sharing your energy with me, time, and supporting me. Please like and subscribe if this is your first time here. For the repeat people, you already know. I know what this is about. But sending you guys a lot of love. If you are interested in booking a personal reading with me, feel free to check out the links in the description. I also accept donations at this time. I'd really appreciate it. And yeah. Be prepared for more content. Send you guys a lot of love, and I will see you all next time. Take care. Bye.